Okay, we are starting metallurgy today. Now, actually, metallurgy means extraction of metals from its ore. Now, before going to the explanation of extraction of metals, we should first know some general terms that we used in metallurgy. Now, the first is minerals. Now, what are minerals? Minerals means the naturally occurring compounds of metals. So that we find in the earth crust. So in the earth crust we find many compounds of metal, like you found limestone, calcium carbonate, you find bauxite, you find hematite. All these are minerals that we get naturally, that is the naturally occurring compounds of metals. So in nature we find many compounds of metals which are already present in the earth crust, and those are known as minerals. But what are ores then? Ores are those minerals from which we can extract metal cheaply and easily. Now, not from all the minerals we can get metal. Sometimes it may be very difficult, sometimes it may be very costly. So, therefore, there are certain minerals from which we can get certain metals cheaply and easily, and those minerals from which we can get metals cheaply and easily are called ores. And hence we can say that all ores are minerals, but all minerals are not ores. Okay. Now, some common ores of aluminium. Now, in fact, this year in ICC they have, in the syllabus it is only given ores of aluminium. So hence I have given just the ores of aluminium. But in your textbook you will find there are other ores of other metals also, like iron and zinc. Some common ore of iron are hematite, magnetite. Common ore of zinc are zinc blende, calamine, etc. So, but this year in ICC syllabus only ores of aluminium are given. So I have given just the ores of aluminium, and the most common ores of aluminium are bauxite. Chemically it is Al2O3.2H2O, that is hydrated aluminium oxide. Next is cryolite. Its formula is Na3AlF6, and chemically it is known as sodium aluminium hexafluoride. And corundum is simply aluminium oxide. Okay, so these are the three common ores of aluminium. Next is gangue. Now gangue means earthly impurities like sand, mud, etc. that is present in the ore, because you know that ore we find in nature in the earth crust, so lot of impurities are there. So earthly impurities are there. So those are sand, mud, gravel, slit, stone chips, etc. So those are called gangue. Flux. Now flux are chemical substance that we mix with the crushed ore to remove these impurities, to remove gangue. So to remove gangue from the ore, because first we have to take the ore and we have to crush the ore, and then we have to remove the impurities, that is earthly impurities, that is present in gangue, and that is we use for that, removing those gangue, we use a chemical substance. We mix that chemical substance into the crushed ore. That chemical substance reacts with gangue, generally sand, and then it form a fusible product. And that fusible product which can be then easily removed is known as slag. Now simply you can say that gangue plus flux gives slag. So you can understand, gangue means the impurities, earthly impurities. Flux is the chemical substance that we use in the gangue, used to remove gangue in fact. And then when gangue reacts with flux, then we get a certain fusible product that is called slag, and then that slag can be easily removed, and hence the ore is purified. Okay, so I can just give you a simple example. Suppose this is molten iron ore, okay, so high temperature, that's 1100 degree Celsius around, and in this molten iron ore we add some limestone, CaCO3, that is limestone, and in this molten ore some impurities are also present in form of sand, that is silicon dioxide, SiO2. Now in this heated iron ore, if we add this limestone, then what happens, you see that in this molten iron ore, sand is present as impurities everywhere, okay. So everywhere sand is present, but we know it's difficult to get out this sand, and hence to remove this sand we add limestone to it. Now what happens, you see, now due to this high temperature, the limestone that we are adding here, that breaks into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, and this calcium oxide then reacts with those sand everywhere, reacts with this sand SiO2, and it forms calcium silicate. So calcium silicate, and this calcium silicate, when this sand reacts with this calcium oxide, then it forms a fusible substance, calcium silicate, and in fact this calcium silicate floats in this molten iron ore. So floats in this molten iron ore. So now all the impurities, they get fused up, they reacts with this calcium oxide, means the sand reacts with this molten in this calcium oxide, and it forms calcium silicate, and that calcium silicate floats in this, and now we can easily remove this, understand. So I can say this silicon dioxide, you can say it is gangue, this calcium oxide, it is flux, and the fusible product that is formed, which can be easily removed, and that is called slag, understand. So that is called slag, okay, understand. Okay, now the next is the stages that is involved in the extraction of metals. So during the extraction of metal from ore to pure metal, we follow these steps, and then ultimately we get pure metal. So first we take ore, and later on, after this we'll discuss most of them, all of them one by one, but these are the main steps that is involved. So first we take ore, and then we crush the ore and grind the ore, to increase the surface area, to crush it and grind it, and then after that we concentrate the ore. Concentrate ore means removing all the unwanted particles from the ores. Like just now you have seen that I have told you about gangue and all. So there are many types of impurities that is present. So we try to first remove all those impurities, remove all these impurities, and that is known as concentration of the ore. And those concentration can be done in these following steps, okay. Any of the following steps, it depends upon what type of ore we are using. Gravity separation, froth flotation, magnetic separation, or chemical method, means we use chemical, or also that chemical method is also known as leaching. So these are the methods but by which we generally remove the impurities, okay, we generally remove the impurities. So these are the methods of concentration. Now after removing the impurities, means concentrating the ore, then we do roasting and calcination. Now roasting and calcination actually means it should be roasting, we do either roasting or we do calcination. Okay, now I'll explain you after this what is roasting and calcination, but still in short, roasting means heating of the ore in presence of air, and calcination means heating of the ore in absence of air. Again, it depends upon what type of ores you have taken. Means in fact roasting and calcination, they in fact convert the ore into oxide. So always remember, in the metallurgy step, our main aim is to convert the ore into oxide and then reduce the oxide to the metal. So that is the step. We convert, say, you say this is hematite. So we first concentrate, this is iron ore. We first concentrate this, remove these moistures, remove the earth impurities, and then we get iron oxide. Okay, and then we can reduce this. We can reduce this by using a suitable reducing agent, and we get iron and carbon dioxide. So always we convert the ore into oxide. Now how we convert the ore into oxide? By roasting or calcination. Okay, I'll explain you after this. And once the roasting or calcination is done, the ore has been converted into oxide. Ore has been converted into oxide, and then we reduce that ore, means oxide, either by chemical reduction or by electrolytic reduction. This reduction is also known as smelting. Okay, reduction of the oxide into metal, chemically we term it as smelting. And after we got the metal, after reduction we got the metal, and once we got the metal, that metal is in fact impure metal, and then we purify that metal, generally by electrolysis method. You know, we have done in electrolysis chapter, refining of metal, and after refining of metal we get pure metal. Understand? So these are the steps that is involved in the metallurgy. Okay, now we'll understand the process of concentration of ore. As you have seen before, that concentration of ore, we can do any of this method depending upon what type of ore we are having. Now the first type of method is gravity separation. Now when we do this method, when the impurities are lighter and the ore particles are heavier, say for example iron ore. Now iron ore, the particles are heavier and the impurities that is present in it, say sand, mud, etc., they are lighter particles. So for that what we use a sloping plank with several grooves, like this, with several grooves. Okay, so this system is like this, and it is vibrating. Okay, it's vibrating, and there is a spray of water system. That water is sprayed here, and we keep the ore in this platform, the ore. Okay, in fact you can say it is like this. There is also a groove like this, and we keep the ores here. Okay, the ores here, and here we have a spray of water, continuously the flow of water, and this is a vibrating. Then what happens? Due to this water, what happens? The ores get washed away like this. And during this course of journey, the heavier ore particle, they get settled. They get settled in these grooves. And the lighter particles, they get washed away. So due to this vibration and due to this water falling, the ore particles, the heavier ore particles, they get settled. They get settled in these grooves, and the lighter particles like mud and sand, they get washed away through this water, and so most of the particles, most of the impurities get washed away, and this method is called gravity separation. Okay, understand? Okay, next is magnetic separation. Now this method is used when either the ore particles are magnetic or the impurities are magnetic. Say for example, if I take, say, iron ore again. So iron ore, it's a magnetic ore. So for this what we use this type of arrangement. These are two wheels, and with the rubber belt. Okay, so this is a rubber belt, means a thick belt platform, a wide platform you can say, and these are the wheels, and they constantly rotate. So rotate, and in fact out of these two wheels, this wheel is magnetic wheel, magnetic. Now what we do here, we just from the container or where the ore is kept, we pour the ore, means we just fill the ores here, and constantly say ores are falling from this pipeline. Okay, and as the wheel is rotating, the ore gets carried away, and now from here what happens, all the non-magnetic particles falls like this, and all the magnetic particles, since they get sticks to this wheel, they fall here. So now if we keep two container here, so you can understand the non-magnetic impurities. The impurities are non-magnetic. In this case, iron ore, the impurities are non-magnetic, and this you get ore. So ultimately the non-magnetic particles, they get separated here, and the magnetic particle, they get separated here. Now conversely, if the impurities are magnetic and the ore is non-magnetic, then what will happen? We'll get the ore here and we'll get the impurities here. Suppose in a copper ore, we have some iron ore mixed in it, iron particles also mixed in it. So what will happen? All the copper ore will fall here, and all the iron magnetic particles will fall here. So this is called magnetic separation. Okay, understand? Okay, the next method of concentration of ore is froth flotation. Now when we use this method, when the ores are lighter and impurities are heavier. Okay, so ores are lighter, but the impurities that is present are heavier. Example, sulfide ores. Generally we use froth flotation process in sulfide ores. Sulfide ore means those ore containing sulfur. So it means all the sulfide ore like zinc blende, we have copper pyrites, we have iron pyrites, all are sulfide ores. Now for this what we take, we take a tank, okay, an iron tank, and this iron tank contains a mixture of pine oil and water. Okay, so this is a mixture of pine oil and water. And then we mix we then add this ores in it. We add the ore in it. Now first of all, when we use a mixture of pine oil and water, these are all immiscible liquids. Then what will happen? In fact, you will get a layer. You will get two layers, pine oil and water. Okay. Now, when we add the ore in it, then what happens? The lighter particle, they float here. Lighter particle, they float in the pine oil, that is the ore, and the heavier particle, they fall, they sink in the bottom, that's the impurities. And then we then pass high speed compressed air, high speed, like blower, Now when this compressed air with high speed, they blow this water, what happens? Froth is produced. And this froth, okay, now if you see, a froth is produced like this, lather, froth. and hence it is known as froth flotation. Now when in this froth, what happens, this lighter particle that was floating, they get entangled in this froth, and now we can collect this froth, and then we can collect in a container. Now after some time the froth will die and the ore will be left. Okay, the froth, the froth will settle down and will be left with the ore. Okay, understand? And the impurities will be at the bottom. So this method is called froth flotation. Okay, understand? And the next concentration of the ore is chemical method, that's also known as leaching. Now this chemical method or leaching means we use certain chemicals and then we use that chemical to remove those impurities, and that I'll explain you in this in the next part, in the purification of bauxite by Beer's process during the extraction of aluminium. Okay, so I'm not describing here, so you can go to my watch my next videos, part 2, where I will explaining the extraction of aluminium. And in that extraction of aluminium, the first step is purification of bauxite, that's the aluminium ore, by Beer's process. The name of the process is Beer's process, and in the Beer's process we use a chemical, okay, sodium hydroxide in fact, and then with the help of sodium hydroxide we can remove the impurities that is present in bauxite. And this method in which we use a chemical to remove the impurities is known as leaching. Okay, now next is roasting and calcination. Now what is roasting? Roasting is the heating of the ores in excess air, and calcination is heating of ore in absence of air. Okay, roasting is generally done in sulfide ores, whereas calcination is generally done in carbonates and hydrated ores. Like you can understand, zinc sulfide means it's an ore of zinc that is commonly known as zinc blende. Now if this zinc sulfide we are heating in excess of air, means in excess of oxygen, then this converts into zinc oxide and SO2. Okay, so in excess of air means in presence of oxygen, so that is roasting. But in carbonates, we heat in absence of air, so no need of any oxygen here to convert into oxide, because oxygen is already present. So when we heat them in absence of air, here what happens, zinc carbonate also converts into ZNO and carbon dioxide. Understand? Because our main aim is now why we do roasting or calcination. The first of all, it removes the volatile impurities. When we heat the ore, okay, all the volatile impurities they comes out from the ore in form of vapor, and during this course they make the ore porous. Okay, all the volatile impurities, they in fact come out from the ore. Volatile means which evaporates. Like when we heat coal, you have seen that when we heat coal, smokes come out. So that smokes are the volatile impurities. So all the volatile impurities are removed, make the ore porous, and when the ore becomes porous, it becomes more reactive. Okay, so these are the main aim for roasting or calcination. Removes volatile impurities, makes the ore porous, and also converts the ore into oxide. Because I have told you, in fact, now once the ore is converted into oxides, then now the last step of extraction of metal is reducing this oxide. For example, we got zinc oxide here also by roasting. Now if I use a reducing agent like say carbon monoxide, what I will get? I will get zinc and carbon dioxide. Or I can use also coke, simply coke, then I get zinc and I get carbon dioxide, like this. Understand? So that means every time the ore has to be converted into oxide, and then only we can reduce into its respective metal. So due to this, roasting and calcination is important. So this 3 point is important. Why we do roasting or calcination? So to remove volatile impurities, to make the ore porous, and to convert the ore into oxide. Okay, understand? So this is the end of first part. So this is all about the terms, general terms that we used in metallurgy. So you should go through this part before going to the second part. Now in the second part, I'll explain you about how aluminium is extracted. Okay, so extraction of aluminium, which is in our syllabus. Okay.